What's up, guys, and welcome to Dalat. We are starting our adventure by visiting a very famous haunted house during the middle of the day. Not nearly as haunted as we thought it would be, but I'll tell you the story when we get inside. Here it is, guys. Guys, apparently this house was built sometime in like the middle of the 1950s. And there's a lot of mansions around Dalat, but this house is notorious because there's lots of ghost stories about this place. So the stories go that the owner raped and murdered his wife here, but there's also different stories that somebody killed children here and buried them somewhere around the land. There was also one story about the French military who used to rape and kill women in this house. Although I have to say the vibes are pretty normal. So there's a very interesting thing about Vietnamese people in that they are very, very superstitious. So they really believe in ghosts, and they believe in spirits, and they believe in curses. And so even one of my students that I teach, when I told her I was coming to Dalat, she said, make sure to stay away from the ghosts. They believe that Dalat is a good place for ghosts to live because Dalat is a lot cooler than many other places that you find in Vietnam. And so ghosts from all over the place like to come to Dalat to live in the mist and to enjoy the cool weather because that's what ghosts do. So this is a ghost house. So actually many people refuse to come up here. I imagine at night it would be a little bit more scary. During the day it looks pretty normal. And in general, they have turned this house also into a bit of a tourist attraction. So there's a story about someone who made fake graves here so that people would leave money, because typically when you visit a grave site in Vietnam, you leave coins or something. And the person was just then taking the money. So entrepreneurial, to say the least. As much as I can say this house is sketchy, I don't think it really is. I'm not feeling bad vibes. It feels like a summer house that someone kind of abandoned. But yeah, people won't buy it. It's actually a beautiful house, but people won't buy it because of the ghosts. So it lays here, abandoned, waiting for someone to demolish it or something. So down here, you guys can see this is called the Mimosa Valley, probably named after some, French people who like to drink mimosas or something. And Dalat is a lot more foresty than anything you typically find in Vietnam. So they have pine trees, they have a very temperate climate, and it actually gets quite cold here. It'll get to 3 or 4 degrees Celsius during the winter compared to the majority of Vietnam, which is very, very hot. And up here you guys can see we have a shrine that has been made. Dalat actually has many haunted houses in general. This was also a sign, this was also a place of many atrocities during the Vietnam War. And so there's a lot of tough memories and superstitions in Dalat. But that being said, I'm going to say not too ghosty. It's actually very beautiful though. Look at this.
I also read something quite funny. He said that one of the old military ghosts is a drunk guy.
Okay.
So people used to give him alcohol there, a sign of respect. And if you come during the night, you can hear him snoring.
So guys, would you visit a haunted house? Would you do it? Some of our friends didn't want to come here because they thought it was too scary. They were wrong. Hopefully when I go back to Ho Chi Minh I don't bring a curse along with me. Alright guys, we'll see you at the next spot. Behind me now is the Dalat train station. Dalat was a central area for the French when they were occupying Vietnam for nearly 100 years. And so there's a lot of remnants of the French being here, and you can see it specifically in the architecture. I assume the French kind of liked being here because the weather is so much more like France than anywhere else. And so the architecture has that kind of like Alpine French look. It almost looks German too, you know, like what you would find kind of like in a mountain town, maybe Grenoble, in the Alps or something. So here behind you can see this was built, I guess it says 1938. Gare Dalat, and this was an important trading post, and it connected, I guess, central Vietnam to the south. So you can see the style. We got some cool stuff. I'll let you guys check it out more. There it is. And let's go in the train station. It's important to note that all the train and rail infrastructure in many of the countries in Southeast Asia was built by the colonial power that was here. So all of the styles of all of the train stations in Vietnam are very, very French colonial. With the this one's a more Alpine theme, but most of them are very like classic French train stations. And so you have to pay 5,000 to get in here. I don't really understand why. And we'll check it out. Let's see what's going on. So it's a bit of a store. Got things we can buy, old furniture. And here you can see a picture of the train station in 1950, and here's what the inside looks like. This is kind of the, I would say the ghetto version of stained glass, where they just paint it different colors. It seems that the train station is certainly no longer working, and has become a bit of a market, but like a very, very touristy market, which is interesting. And I have to say, Dalat, if you're a girl and you love Instagram photos, especially like Vietnamese women really, really love pictures, this is like a paradise for you, because Dalat is just built for cool pictures. Here you go. There it is. It's happening real time. So I guess the one cool part about this place is they kept the old train cars, so you can seemingly step up on them. And here you can see the inside of what was once an old colonial French car. Got some wood, nice little handles. And now we've just got girls taking photos. There they are. In many ways, being here during the coronavirus is kind of like a blessing in disguise, because you can go to all the tourist attractions, but you don't have to deal with all the tourists. So what's cool is it's actually just pretty much Vietnamese tourists kind of doing their thing, which is cool, you know. There's not other people kind of like changing the experience, which is nice. Here we go. We're getting ready for an epic photo here. So we're pretty done with the tourist stuff. So the plan is now to take you on a food tour of Dalat and try the various local dishes that are endemic to the area. So, are you ready, Mo? Mo's ready! Mo's ready! Yeah, let's go eat some food, guys. Soy juice? Here it is. That's nice. Xin Jiao. Alright. Swa Dao Nan. Alright. So the first stop on our food journey is something called Sua Dao Nan. That's fresh soy milk, and that they actually serve hot. So here it is. It's yeah, it's like soy milk you get in the store, but like real. And I don't know if it has sugar in it. Let's see. Oh my god. It tastes like just amazing. It's just way better than what you would get in the store cold. I first had soy milk like this when I was in, I think, Hong Kong, and I ordered it every day because it was so amazing. It's good for protein, sweet, not too sweet, and a great way to start your day. So now we're on the hunt for delicacies particular to the region of Dalat. So let's see what we find.
Le chausson? No.
So the first stop on our food trip is a little fried stand. They have here, what you can see here, they have ban ran, which is a fried green bean wrap with sticky rice. They have quai chen, which is fried banana. They also have chui qian. Oh, I'm sorry, kuai qian is fried potato, and then they have fried banana. So tell us, Mel, how's the fried banana?
Best shit ever.
Best shit ever. All right. How would you describe it?
Like really greasy.
Yeah.
Like banana is really sweet and like hot. It's really good.
I want to show you guys something really crazy. Here in Dalat, it's known for avocados, but they're not the avocados that you may know back where you're from, but they look like this. So you can actually feel the pit kind of moving inside, and they're really long. They like, this is an avocado. This is not a cucumber. It's very strange. So we'll get this in a smoothie later. The texture is a lot less creamy and a lot more like kind of melony in a weird way. So the more you know. These fruits here are also pretty wonderful. They're called mangosteens, and the inside is kind of like a big lychee. They're sweet and floral, and pretty good in general. So, box of mangosteens, and then of course here you have the dragon fruit. Very strange looking, not too sweet, pretty normal. And durian. They got durian. Now we're walking through the central market of Dalat. Here you guys can see they got a lot of commerce going on. It's busy, not too busy. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, we're having a bit more trouble finding the specific Dalat food that we were promised, but we'll find it. We'll find it. So now we're in a live market, and this is how coronavirus starts, guys. You have live roosters next to dead ducks. And then you have the animal parts here, and yeah, uncage the roosters. Look at these guys. Not great. The ducks, and then there they are. Wow. So for those of you who have never been to a wet market, the smell is very strange. I think if more people should come to things like this, especially in the West, and then they can really decide if they want to continue eating meat, because it's sometimes pretty gnarly. The smell of this one isn't too bad, but when it's really hot, like what you find in Bangkok or what you find in Ho Chi Minh, sometimes it's really like kind of nauseating and doesn't really make you that hungry. So, I mean, even here you have Bigfoot. Bigfoot. Hello. Pig ears. Ground meat. All right, so we're at our first stop. We're at Gao's Coffee. We've got the avocado ice cream, also known as Kem Bu. This is a pretty fancy version, I would believe. So we got the ice cream in the bottom. We got some nice this whipped cream. Is it ice cream too? Ice cream as well, and then we have some. I guess this would be sweet potato that they fried and covered in sugar. So let's give it a try. All right. There you go. Oh yeah, delicious. Compared to an avocado smoothie, which is more like sweet, this is actually very avocado flavored. And since the avocados here are like more, a little bit less creamy, it's like really kind of like vegetal. So I would give it, on a scale of delicious ice cream, I would give it a hard 7. So next time you're in Dalat, try an avocado ice cream. All right. So it's almost like there's an avocado puree at the bottom with a little bit of sugar, and then they added ice cream on top. So maybe that's the reason why it's a little bit more avocado-y, a little bit more vegetal than normal. But pretty good, enjoyable. So now we're on to find some more savory dishes, hopefully down this way. We're at our next location, and we've ordered 2 very famous Dalat dishes. Number 1 is Ban Ut Longa, which is, Ban Ut is rice paper, or like rice flour noodles with kind of like this chicken and garlic and onions and herbs. And then the second is Ban Kan, which is this small rice flour pancake, which they're making with, I believe, it said siu mai, so I believe that is meatballs. And they cook them. Here we go. There's another dish like this that's really quite popular called Ban Bao, but it's more steamed as opposed to this kind of grilled method. So we'll see how it goes. It's pretty hot. And so here they're also using quail eggs as opposed to regular eggs. So for our other dish, you can see here, this is the embryo of the chicken that we saw in a different episode. They have the whole chickens kind of all ready to go. And then they shred the meat. They add in the herbs, the onions, and then also the different parts of the chicken. And then you get something that looks just like this. And on the bottom are these specific noodles here, which are called ban ut, which are rice paper noodles. All right, so here we have ban ut longa. So here you go. It's kind of like, I would say it's kind of like a cold salad of sorts. So you got some chicken, you got, as I said, the other stuff, you got the noodles at the bottom. I kind of feel like there should be a sauce here. Oh, and then the bottom you have this kind of sweet, I would say like a fish sauce. So we're gonna get one nice combination bite. Here we go. All right, and in the face. Yeah. So I love these rice noodles because they're nice and kind of like chewy, kind of like they're cold, they're pretty simple, very tasty. They soak up all the flavors, and then the chicken on top. You know, how can you go wrong with chicken on top? Oh, there we go. So there you go, guys, the ban ut longa. So here we have ban kan, or these little rice flour pancakes that you just saw cooking. They got some raw, weird choice, zucchini on top. Then we'll see what's going on in there. And then they have a little side kind of thing, which, I don't know. We got some scallions, we've got one meatball. I'm not sure why there's a meatball in there. And then I'm assuming like a little fish sauce, a little sugar and stuff too. It's really hot, it's steaming, and I don't want to injure myself. All right guys, so we got the ban kan, we've got the bowl of stuff. We're gonna give it a little dip. How could that be bad? Get a little onions on there, and then we're gonna try it. Oh, hot. But pretty good. It's a rice flour pancake with a quail egg on the inside. Chewy and crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. You can see they cooked the egg all the way through. This is the heat which will burn your mouth, unfortunately. And yeah, pretty basic, but pretty tasty. Now I'm gonna eat this strange meatball because this one was called the meatball ban kan. So instead of putting the meatballs in the ban kan, they just gave you one meatball. So let's give it a shot. You know what? That's a good meatball. That's a really good meatball. Tender, fatty, delicious. I wish they were inside, but I'm not the one making the dish, so. So what's interesting about street food in Vietnam is sometimes there's like certain times when you can get it and other times when it's just not available. So we were really trying to find Zap Zap, which is a special Vietnamese salad, which I hope to bring to you after this, no promises. So I figured I would take you to one last place to see some of the beauty of Dalat because it's a mountainous region and they have so much colonial influence here. And there seems like this kind of church that looks like something out of Boston. So let's go see what it looks like. We got a dog. Hey. So the goal now is to get to the top of this, to try and beat the rain, and then to get home without getting soaked. Can we do it? So I have to say Dalat, in comparison to a lot of places I've been in Vietnam, it really doesn't even feel like Vietnam. The landscape's completely different. The people are all wearing like warm clothes. The dishes are a little bit different, and it's really clean. There's lots of park space. It's not so loud. I would definitely spend a month here. This is a good place. If you are ever in southern Vietnam, you have to come to Dalat. Don't skip it. Just as our quest for Zap Zap ended in failure, this park has locked us in and we cannot visit the church. So we're gonna have to find a different way around, or we won't. So unfortunately, the top of the building we were trying to find was locked. It was actually just a university. So anyways, guys, this is gonna be the end of Dalat day 1. We'll pick back up at Linh Phuc Temple day 2. Make sure to stay tuned. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe below, and we will see you next time. Cheers, guys.